lie to you, it's been one heck of a week, with my whole area being under freezing temperature, heck, half the country being frozen. Then I gotta go to a sweltering jungle to go and track down this creature and capture it to showcase to you. Wait a minute. What's going on? Hey, you, get down there. You're not... Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. Technically the creature, but here I have the ultimate action figure of the creature from the Black Lagoon from NECA. So, what do we got here with the packaging? We've got the creature from the Black Lagoon. This looks like the original movie poster artwork, so that's awesome here on the front. Side, we got a great toy shot of the creature of the Black Lagoon action figure with the logo up here, the Universal Monster stuff, NECA, real toys, pretty awesome. Other side, again, another great shot. Woo, look at those eyes, look at those lips. The backside, we got more glamour shots of the creature from the Black Lagoon. I'm loving that like splash effect that he's jumping out on. That's awesome. They did a really good job on these photos. What do we got on the top? Bam, the logos. NECA, creature from the Black Lagoon. Don't swallow it, please. And ages 17 and up. Oh, this is the best. You got all the great people who worked on this, so give them props if you can. And lastly, it opens up like most NECA figures. Bam! Where you get a great underwater showcase of the creature, as well as the actual figure itself, with what I can tell is 2 alternate heads, and a lot of alternate hands, as far as I can tell. So, let's go ahead and check this figure out. Well, now that this creature is unboxed, let's take a look at it. Now, first impressions, this figure looks amazing. The sculpt is awesome. And based on an actor in a rubber suit, my goodness, NECA did a great job on this figure. Wow. I mean, just look, first off, the paintwork gets me right away. I mean, you got that dark green with these wash of kind of a copper light going on around all that segmented, I would guess, like chitin on this creature, his outer armor, and on these frilled fins in his gills. That is amazing. And I like how they differentiate the underbelly. It's just kind of more of a matte-like and kind of a little bit soft rubber-like. But let's look at the head real quick. Here's his standard head that he comes with. There's like bulging blue piercing eyes to see under the dark in the water, and those fish lips. Woo! Mwah! And the gills. Oh my gosh, all those details, all those individual lines and his breathing gills. That is awesome. It just runs down his back into his fins as well as into his forearms. I'm really loving the paintwork and just all the sculpting details. Now, these fins, they're sort of hard. They're a little bit spiky here. This one's rubbery, not so much spiky. These are a little bit rubbery. See anywhere else he's got fins? That's about it. But just be careful there. Love, again, the armor plating style on here. That is so good. And those hands of his that he comes with, they just, with the webbing, and again, you can see all that like striation marks, all those little details. That's so awesome. Even got the copper coloring going on his fingers. These are nice and a little bit rubbery. That way you're not gonna stab yourself. There are some sharp parts to this figure, you know, right here at the feet, and especially right back here. I guess his maybe dual claws or whatever. He's got some claws here at the back end. But again, they got that nice paint job as well here on the feet. Webbing with the striation marks going outwards. Coppery toenails. That is so awesome. This figure, my goodness, the paint job alone is really great. I'm loving this Universal monster. All right, let's check out his accessories that it comes with. Again, has 3 heads. I don't know why I'm using both of my hands. Just 3. But you know, you got the standard as well as these 2 as well. They're pretty much basically the same. Only difference is gonna be pretty much the mouth opening. So, you know, wider, semi-wide, like a medium open. Why again, this one is more closed. But otherwise, they're pretty much look exactly alike in the eyes and on the back as well. as you can see. There's some little bit paint differences here and there, but for the most part, pretty much identical. Just flip him back over. And he has 3 sets of hands. So he's got a more splayed out one. This is probably more for like, you know, swimming and whatnot, as well as maybe like popping out of the water. It's like kind of a surprise attack. Then you have more of a grasping style of a hand, you know, for his unsuspecting victims. And then I guess this is like more of a neutral pose. I mean, I don't know. I mean, a lot more coppery color, more brownish in color. It's kind of odd. So, I don't know. They're just a different style of a neutral hand. I'm not totally in love with this. I like this more so. This coloring, they seem to sort of match a little bit better. Still a little bit brighter in the browns on these hands in comparison to what's actually on the figure at first. But not too bad. It's just a little bit off coloring. So. Alright, well, now that we've seen some of the details and the accessories, let's check out the articulation of this figure. Starting with the head, it's got a nice spin, tilting from side to side, somewhat down, somewhat up, and you can tell this neck piece moves, obviously, and you know, you're able to pop off the head. Let's see if I can do it real quick. Yeah, got the little peg right there, little ball joint. You can easily put the other ones on, but I'm gonna go ahead and put his head back on. But I can't. Not too bad. Let's see, shoulders. Or actually, we'll start with the arms at the shoulders. Nice T motion, great. Let's see, nice 360 spin, perfect. That spins around, great. Elbows go in, nice double jointed, really nice. See any spin at the elbow? Ooh, look at that, that's a nice elbow spin right there. Here at the forearm, nope, not the forearm. Wrist, good spin, perfect. Goes in at the wrist. Goes outward, sort of at the wrist. It kind of stops actually back at the standard neutral point due to the segmented armor, but you definitely can get inwards. Really nice. Okay, let's see. It looks like we got a section right here at the upper chest. Got a nice spin there. Ooh, love it, love it. Right here, maybe at the midsection. Let's see. Ooh, nice. Let's see. Find out. Does it spin? Does it spin? Little tight, little tight. Oh, but look at that. It does spin. That's awesome. So you got a spin here, spin there. Bet you it does a nice crunch. Yeah, that's awesome. Going back. Get that arm out of the way so you can see. Yeah. Woo. You gotta like make him like swim through. That's pretty cool. Oh, that may be an awesome pose if I can achieve that. But great bending back. Awesome. All right, legs. Nice split. Really good. Here at the hips, you get some minor rotation, a little bit of stickiness right there as it kind of gets caught up, but not too bad. Kick forward, kick back, pretty decent, pretty decent. Legs, let's see, anything here? Ooh, wait, is that knee rotation? Whoa, that's cool, knee rotation. Love that. All right, knee bend. Nice, nice. Let's see. Okay, so that knee bends, anything in there? Probably not, because it's got the pin right there. So that's not too bad. Feet, nicely spins around. Doesn't kick back as much, again, getting restriction right here from, I guess, his fins and his toes. But, let's see, going forward, not too bad going forward. So, okay, cool. Any rocking? Yes, nice rocking side to side. Awesome. And he's got the peg holes for a display stand if needed. I even like how they gave him texture at the bottom of his feet. That's pretty cool too. So, just get him back to neutral pose. Yeah, I think we've seen all the awesome details on this universal creature from the Black Lagoon. Oh man, I love it. All right, let's go and check out how tall it really is. So, placing the ruler up against this universal monster, we can see that he is 8 inches tall, which is a decent size. In fact, really great size for an action figure. So here this creature is next to other action figures to give you a sense of scale and how he might stand up in your collectible collection. Now after checking out this creature from the Black Lagoon action figure from NECA, I have 3 great things that I love about it. First off is the sculpt of this figure. I mean, NECA hits it out of the park almost every time when it comes to their horror figure line. And having to do this based on a monster of a guy in a rubber suit, they did a bang up job on this thing. I mean, it doesn't feel like a guy in a rubber suit. It really feels like this amphibious reptilian monster that's gonna drag you down into the depths, which is awesome. Secondly, this figure straight out of the box, the paint job on this thing is fantastic, particularly the kind of coppery bronze dry brushing that they did on the scale parts, on the segmented areas, as well as the, I guess you call it like the fins, the frills on his gills, and the back that goes along his spine. I mean, that touch of detail really just brings out so much depth of this character. And third, if you are a collector of the iconic horror Universal monster lines, I think this guy is gonna fit in perfectly. I really do think it is worthy of a monster collector, of a horror collector. And if you are one, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is this one you're going to collect? In fact, they actually have this one, not only in color, but also a black and white version. I prefer the color one, that's just me. I think it's more visually popping, but the black and white is good for the old school version. I mean, which one would you get? Color or black and white version? If not, both. Now, as for the things I don't like about it, I have to say, first off would be placing the alternate heads on this figure is a little bit tricky. They don't go on, at least on mine, quite so well. Takes a little bit of effort. You might have to use some heat to get it on that ball joint, but it just doesn't it pops off a little bit more than what I like it to. And again, this is just fresh out of the box, so you might have to, again, use a little bit of elbow grease to get those suckers on. The other part is the paint job on the alternate hands. For the most part, it's pretty good, but that same dry brushing of that kind of coppery bronze is off. I mean, it's not exactly matching what is on the actual action figure itself, like the standard hands that it comes with, but it's more vibrant, I would say, a lot more orange, a lot more brown to it, so it just doesn't match. It was, I'm guessing, a different paint. Maybe that's just mine, unless it's done for all of them, but a little bit of a mismatch kind of takes away of it. It's not a big deal, but still a con. And lastly, this one isn't too much of a con, but if you're used to getting action figures from NECA, you're used to probably getting tons of accessories and like special effects, items, and whatnot, as well as, you know, again, the alternate hands and heads. But this one does not come with a whole lot. Again, two alternate heads, 3 alternate hands, and that's pretty much it. I mean, which makes sense because this is the creature from the Black Lagoon. He doesn't have special effects. He's not using items. Maybe they could have gave him some seaweed to hang off of him. Maybe they could have provided a damsel in distress for him to go after. So again, it's the same price point as most all NECA action figures, but you're not going to get all those like really detailed tons of accessories on this one. So you may get a little bit disappointed, but honestly, I don't think that's such a big deal because, again, this is not what that creature would use or have. I have to admit, I actually had a lot of fun showcasing and reviewing this creature from the Black Lagoon action figure from NECA. I mean, it's a blast. I mean, all the details and everything. Heck, I might actually have to start getting the rest of the Universal monster line. Heck, let me know in the comments if you want me to showcase the rest of them. Think there's a vampire, invisible man, all those guys. I mean, hey, might have to get that collection growing. Can't let him be all by himself. Well, thanks for joining me here. In fact, if you're still interested in seeing some more horror figures from NECA, check this out. Or maybe this horror creature's more your style. Well, thanks for joining me here on Nerdmazing. And as always, be passionate in what you do, share your passion with others, and be kind to one another. This world can always use more goodness in it. This is Adam with Nerdmazing, and I'll see you next time.